Welcome to Micro Live Videocast. I am the host Vijay Gunti. With me is Albert. Albert is certified digital transformation professional with overall 15 plus years of experience in architecting SAP solutions and digital transformation platform. Welcome to live podcast, Albert. Can you please introduce yourself?
Thank you, VJ. Thank you for having me. Yes, I am a certified digital transformation professional. I'm a solution architect and an advisory consultant in digital transformation, and I hold a PhD in management, where I majored in digital transformation and e-business management. And I am also the author of the definitive guide to a digital business strategy. I also hold a position with Huchi Capital, conservation enterprise, as a technical advisor. And the enterprise is involved in conserving the impact of the sweet returns of the African honeybee, which are not only essential for global food security, but play a key part of keeping the ecological balance and diversity that forms life, through natural pollination. Thank you,
Uh,
VJ.
Good to know, Albert. So my next question about Albert, right? In the era of the Internet of Things. So what kind of problem statement you worked, and what are the challenges you have faced?
Okay. As we hear, the world's population is growing, and this is putting an impact on food security, globally. But there is good news. Africa has vast arable land and a young demographic, which puts us in the best position to feed the world through sustainable agriculture. So IoT can be leveraged to actually get data um, to be able to drive farming and sustainable farming. At the moment, there is lack of adequate and reliable data on apiculture, which is beekeeping on the African continent, which is making it quite difficult to address the global challenge of disappearing pollinators, which are your bees. The African honeybee is suffering from what is called colony collapse disorder, which is seeing the reduction of these natural pollinators, which is your bees, for pollinating most fruits and vegetables. So this now impacts food security. So we are leveraging digital technologies to be able to collect data and to be able to put remedies in place, to be able to stop this colony collapse disorder, and also to investigate which are the main contributors, and try to mitigate the main areas that contribute to this insect apocalypse. I can just mention a few of the contributors to decrease in the bee population. We have issues surrounding, pesticides and pollution, urbanization, deforestation, climate change, and intensive agriculture, which can also decrease the natural areas where bees actually are having, or actually have the hives, and that are able to produce honey and pollinate.
Uh, Thanks for sharing, Albert, the problem statement and the challenges. So coming now to the solution, right? Like you might have worked and you're working, and then you try to deliver the solution from the problem statement. Can you throw some light on that?
Yes, it will be a pleasure to do that. So what we have is a Huchi Hive apiary management solution, which leverages the Internet of Things, which we have dubbed the Internet of Bees. So basically, we are actually connecting the bees and the beehives and collecting data gathering data through this management system. So what we have is an Internet of Things and big data analytics and a blockchain solution that is contributing to collection of data and management of beehive health through the fusion of technology and sustainable farming and blockchain as well. We are using that for financial inclusion for marginalized youths and women who make up the majority of the African population. So the beehive health solution helps farmers and beekeepers remotely monitor and better understand their beehive health and also the behavior of the bees when they are away from the hive. This solution helps them to make data-based decisions as they conserve and harness the sweet returns of the honeybee across the whole value chain. So an interesting thing also to note is the solution also addresses issues of traceability of various produce. From honey, there's other byproducts from honey that actually come out of the beehives, which is, for example, like beeswax and bee pollen and royal jelly. So, and so doing this, we are contributing to better yields and also further supporting the farmers with recently launched marketplace or ecosystem called Hive Business, which is an online marketplace and ecosystem that links farmers to customers for these diverse hive products across the continent.
Thanks, Albert, for sharing the Internet of Bees concept, especially in the Internet of Things era. So, coming to the solution architecture, the emerging technologies like Internet of Things, edge networks, blockchain, and artificial intelligence. Can you throw some light on this? How these technologies leverage into the solution architecture, Albert?
Yes, definitely. So what we have designed is an interactive IoT, a big data analytics platform um, that is collecting hive activity and health data through installed smart hive devices. So these smart hive devices are your sensors that are connected to the internet. Um, so they are actually sending and receiving data on the beehive activities and area data. So the beehive health remote monitoring uses these sensors to measure temperature, humidity, sound, the weight, and any pesticide residue in the beehives. Um, on tracking the bee, we have RFID sensors that are actually small bee kits that are put on individual bees that can actually track a bee as it leaves or it comes and goes from the beehive. So this helps, in monitoring the colony of the bees and exploring the areas where the bees actually go to carry out the pollination service. So with all these sensors and data that will be pushed to the cloud, machine learning can also be applied there, and artificial intelligence can also be applied, to build insights based on critical and non-critical data, pushed from the edge to the cloud. So classify what is critical. For example, if there's a lot of sound and noise in a certain beehive, that could potentially be a notification that there is a parasite or an intruder in the beehives. For example, like maybe there might be an attack from a predator wasp or a predator within those beehives, and then this can push actually a notification out to selected stakeholders via the application or SMS, sending out this alert to be able to go and check on beehive on the beehive that is recording this activity. So edge networks, I mean, are also very key here because they come with the configured alert mechanism for the critical hive status, based on various set parameters that would include. And as well, I would also like to just mention that, the capability of blockchain being applied here is that it can show, provide traceability of the actual end product, which is your honey, to show that it is actually organic honey and is produced from certain communities, even giving the opportunity for the communities or the beekeeper to be able to tell their story, and be traced, right back to a certain, bee number, beehive number, where you know that, okay, this is the actual known origin of the produce.
Uh, Thanks, Albert, for sharing the holistical solution architecture, the entire IoT ecosystem, like the connected data from the IoT, and then pushing the data into the big data ecosystem, and then using the machine learning and artificial intelligence techniques around edge networks and cloud networks, and finally putting the data into the blockchain to make it more secure. Thanks
Yes.
for sharing, and definitely the viewers can take this example and then can apply to different industries and different use cases also. Thanks once again.
Yes.
So my next thing question is about the outcome, right? I know you have done a fantastic job of implementing using the solution. So can you also throw some light what are the business benefit, like on the business results, especially on the outcome model?
Yes, definitely. I can start with talking around the results. So the solution actually provides, remote access to hive activity. So this helps with the healthier hives, and also learning on, bee behavior. I think there's a lot to actually learn about that, especially because of, the African honeybee. There's not a lot of data around the behavior of the African honeybee. So we can actually learn a lot to see exactly how the bees go about, the pollination, and how we can actually help the bees be able to help us produce more food. You know. Um, Another benefit, or another result out of this is, uh, you know, theft protection, swarm management, and then also optimizing harvest times for this sustainable agriculture. Also aiding in curbing parasites, as I mentioned, an example, of an intrusion of a beehive with these parasites, and then also just monitoring pests and diseases. So these are all the areas and results that the solution actually allows a beekeeper and associated beekeeping ecosystem partners able to collect and mitigate, what do you call it? Mitigate issues and problems around that for a better yield or better beehive. Um, yeah, so the other result as well is better data and insights on the number of beekeepers and practices. As we have a connected ecosystem, interaction between beekeepers will be very key as well. So sharing of best practices and sharing of of ways of improving, beekeeping management and all of that is also going to be a very, very important result out of this solution. And then at the end of the day, it all impacts and transcends on at least six global SDGs, which is your Sustainable Development Goals. Reducing poverty, reducing hunger, good health and well-being, life on land, and also taking action against climate change, and decent work and economic growth for the communities. So these are the results that the solution will produce.
Thanks for sharing on the business outcomes and results, Albert. So my final question is about the business benefits. Definitely, the customer like implemented this kind of IoT solution, right? So what are the business benefits? Can you throw some light on that?
Right. I would love to do that. The business benefits here, besides only just creating a marketplace for beekeepers to be able to sell their produce, there are quite a number that can come to mind. Out of that will come food security, which is the number one, benefits that we have here out of increased economic and social, social, out of the economic and social ecological benefits. Um, you know, so I think the benefits, business benefits, will be all connected to having higher yields of hive products, which will obviously translate to better economic prosperity for those in the production and the communities at large. We'll also get better quality of hive products. This also leads to improved pricing. So as long as we have the best organic honey, then as African marketers, we can market that out and say, look, this is organic honey with no additives. We should fetch a higher price because it is a good product. With good health benefits to everyone, in other markets as well. So this all in all will actually also just improve the quality of life of our communities and our youth, especially the women as well, and provide good supply chain tracking, which again also will reduce any costs associated with along that value chain to get the honey from the producer to the markets, to the supermarkets, whether it may be overseas or in the Middle East, And basically, if we're talking about that, then another business benefit will be, the market linkages that we're going to achieve through the marketplace. So yeah, Vijay, the future looks bright, and there are sweet returns in honey
Uh,
based on leveraging these technologies.
Absolutely, I think that the global kind of scenarios can be applicable here also. Not only countries, like every country can take this application and deploy this at their countries and their geographies.
Yes, truly said. That's right.
So thanks, Albert, for joining us for the live podcast on digital transformation industry 4.0 and emerging technologies. A pleasure sharing your insights on the IoT use case in conservation, especially on the Internet of Beasts. Thanks once again for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure again.
To the audience, stay tuned, and then will come more and more use cases, especially on the IoTs, AIs, and blockchain in future episodes.